Welcome to Bandit's Keep Actual Play. I'm Daniel. Today we are continuing my solo original Dungeons & Dragons campaign using Chainmail and Outdoor Survival. We're focusing in on the foxes who have gone after a Gnolls lair. So they're kind of working their way through the lair, and currently after taking a rest, they hear some Gnolls through a door, but the Gnolls also hear them. Let's see what happens. No, but something good. I'm going to say that something good is that the door is actually not stuck, and we can pull it open, effectively staying in the room. All right. These are from Tales of Argos. So, in the beginning of turn 3, we pull the door open. Nobody is surprised, but we're now faced with Gnolls. Unfortunately, that means we couldn't use our missile weapons, which we would have wanted to do. But in the doorway now, we can line up 3 people. Actually, 2 in a doorway, right? 2 in a doorway, plus the elves on either side, like if you think about it like this, with spears. So we can have 4 of us. They can't kind of come on either side because they're in the middle. So there's just 2 of them. So let's fight this out. So again, if this is your first time, I use my own system, which is I'm working on, which is effectively a combination, or at least the baseline of it is a combination of original Dungeons & Dragons and Chainmail, called Unchained. So the first thing we want to do is look up Gnolls. Gnolls are 2 hit dice, okay? And what's more important is we want to look here. They attack as 2 heavy foot, defend as 2 heavy foot, and when we look at anything special about them, they have +2 to their morale. So if they have to check morale, they're going to get +2 to the roll. Now, because it doesn't say something like Lycanthrope, say like takes 2 hits to kill or whatever simultaneously, that means 2 hits total. You can hit them once one round, once the next round to kill them. So we have 6 Gnolls. Each one has 2 hit dice. They defend as heavy foot. The party is going to do one side. This is all simultaneous, but I'm just going to do the party side first. They're attacking with a sword. They're attacking with a battle axe, spear. These are all heavy foot weapons. So when we look at our combat chart, we're going to look under heavy foot for our weapon. Against heavy foot, 1 die per figure with 6 hitting. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, they are a swashbuckler, which I'll talk about in a second too. They count as 5 figures. So they're going to roll 5 dice, okay? And any 6s will be hits. So I'm going to roll that. Okay, they got none. But here's the thing. Because they are a swashbuckler, which is a heroic type, they actually automatically do 1 hit per die they threw in addition to any they actually roll. So they're going to hit 5 times no matter what, which will 1-2 kills 1 Gnoll, 1-2 kills a second Gnoll, and we wound a 3rd. Okay? The second character is also a swashbuckler. They're going to roll exactly the same. They get 1 hit, again, but they get 5 more. So they get a total of 6 hits. So 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 dead Gnolls plus 1 injured. The elves are both going to get to attack. Now, neither one of them are heroic. Okay, so they don't get that special attack. But they're both using spears. The first one attacks as 3 figures. They get 3 dice. Any 6s are hits. They get a 6. That hits that last Gnoll and kills them. Now, here's the thing. All combat is simultaneous, which means the Gnolls in the doorway, both of them, are going to get to attack the party. So let's look at the party. The party is wearing plate mail. So that's armored foot. So when we look at the charts, heavy foot, which is how the Gnolls attack, versus armored foot, 1 die per 2 figures. Now, remember, each Gnoll is 2 hit dice. They attack as 2 heavy foot, I should say. So each Gnoll is 2 figures, so they get 2 dice. They get 2 dice. Any 6s will be hits. They get no hits. Now, let's say, for instance, that instead they had rolled this. 2 6s. That'd be 2 hits, right? What we do is we take those 2 6s and we look. Now, he's got 5 hit dice, 5 plus 1. They also have 5 hit dice, which means these 2 hits could not kill them because a player character requires a number of hits simultaneously in the same round as their hit dice. So basically, those 2 Gnolls could never have killed the 2 player characters. So basically, it being in the doorway and not being surrounded worked out well for us there. So 6 gnolls have been eliminated. Okay. That was the end of turn 3. Turn 4, let's roll to see if there's going to be a wandering monster. On a 1 or a 2, there is. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is going to get me right to the end there. We're going to flip another card over. Oh, this is another dead end. Okay, so we're going to switch to, because there's nowhere to go, we're going to take this away, put it back in the bottom, in the deck rather, and we're going to pull a king instead. These are the kings here. Nope, those are the aces. Okay. Top king. Okay. So this is now a stair going down to the next level, but first we're going to check. So there is a door here. So we're going to listen at the door. This is the end. This is turn 4. Again, we have 3 characters. We can listen. Oops. Okay, we rolled a 2, which with the demi-human means they hear something, if there's something to be heard. Let's take a pause here for a second. One thing I forgot to do was to look at the Gnolls treasure. They've got 10,000 silver pieces, right? But then they additionally have a bunch of magic items. Now, we're going to make the assumption that the main... I mean, I could divide this up and give a chance that each one of the Gnoll groups... I think that's the best way to do it. Let's do this. This is how I normally would do this. We're going to divide the silver up, because I don't think Gnolls are the type to keep... There's no king of the... Actually, I was about to say there's no king of the Gnolls, but let's actually look to see what it says about Gnolls. Because maybe there is a king of the Gnolls. That's important. We did not look that up, and this is definitely their lair. So, this may change something we're going to do right now. Won't change what's happened so far. The Gnoll King and his bodyguard from 1 to 4 will fight as trolls, but lack regenerative power. Oh boy, okay. So, let's roll a d4. That's a 4, okay. So the Gnoll King, and he has bodyguards. 4. So that means they don't get all the powers of the troll, they just have that many hit dice. Now, and I'm going to say, well, you know what, let's decide this now, because I've never really thought about it. I don't think that would make them a fantastic creature, but let's see. Well, does that mean that they are fantastical creatures? Yes, but well, maybe, but like a troll, they are susceptible to fire, right? Because trolls are, that seems right. Okay. So, of course, in all the excitement, this is why we also track it here. 1, 2, 3, we're on the 4th. Turn of fire. So now, since there is a Troll King, we're going to say that all the magic items and half the silver are going to be with the Troll King. And anytime we enter into a chamber that is occupied by trolls, we're going to say that on a 1, as opposed to, when you're rolling to see if it's gnolls, rather, I should say trolls. So in other words, we normally roll on 1 through 4, it's gnolls. If it's 1 and it's a chamber, the king's going to be there. All right, so let's see if there's anything in this room. No, it's empty. Okay. So we're here. That was in turn 4. Turn 5, we're going to bash the door down, which we do easily. We come in here, and this is, let's say, a passageway going down to another dungeon level. That looks like this. I guess we would go from here. All right. Take the stairs down. We're going to say that takes the whole turn of turn 5. We have to rest on turn 6, so actually we kind of look down there and scout, and I think we're going to wait here. I'd rather be at the top of a stairway than there. So turn 6, we're going to wait here. That does give us the chance of a wandering monster, which we have at the end of turn 6. What is it? It is gnolls again. All right, so again, the gnolls are going to be in groups of 1 and 2, so 3. So same thing as before, 6 gnolls. 6 seems to be about the right number for gnolls. And let's see, where are they coming from? High, low. Low. All right, so they're coming from over here. Let's see. Are they coming from outside? Because if they're coming from outside, then there's no chance that they would have seen those bodies. Let's roll the bones here. Yes, they are, and good. So they do not know. I'm going to say we're going to automatically surprise them. because they're coming in here like la 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 la, and we hear them coming. So when they open the door, we're going to be able to let loose with bows. We're going to go to the backside over here. They're going to come in, and we're going to shoot at them. And again, they're going to have to go down then back up to get to us. That's a little bit of a stretch. So we're over in the corners. They open up the door, and as soon as they do, we're going to get a free shot with the bow. So let's talk about bows. So everybody's ready for this. So even these guys are going to use theirs. They both have heavy crossbows. So crossbows are interesting, right? Because basically you're still going to roll all your dice that we're about to talk about, but you can actually only target one opponent with it. So I think we're going to actually have them, just for my math, I'm going to have them shoot last. These guys have a longbows, okay? Girls, actually, as it would be. They are both longbow +1. They're within short range of the longbow, I'm quite sure. Longbow short range would be 7. So yeah, they're definitely, well, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they're within 7. Okay, so they are in short range. So let's take a look. Longbow. Again, remember, Gnolls defend is heavy foot. So longbow versus heavy foot, 1 die per figure with 5 and 6 hitting. So this elf here is 2 figures +1. Okay, so that means that they can add 1 to one of these dice. They are +1, and the +1 is because of their dexterity, and they're in short range, so they get 1 additional dice. So they're going to roll 4 dice. They can add 1 to one of these. Any 5s and 6s will be hits. Okay, they got 1 hit. Second elf is actually 3 hit dice. They don't get a +1, but they get 1 more die because they also have the +1 because of the dexterity. Okay, that's 2 hits. All right. Our halfling here is 4 figures. They are also in short range always, because halflings count everything as short range. So they're going to get a die for that. But let me just, before I say this, I need to look at this. They're using a horse bow, which acts as a light crossbow as far as statistics. So actually they would barely be in short range, but again, because they're a halfling, they're always in short range. So against heavy foot, they need 6s to hit. So they're actually rolling 6 dice. And only 6s hit, so 1 hit, right? However, they are a hero, okay? Heroes against non-heroic types automatically get 1 hit per die they threw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, +1 is 7. So 1, dead 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dead hobgoblins at this point. I'm sorry, not hobgoblins, gnolls. 5 dead gnolls at this point. And we have 2 more characters that can go. This guy's got a heavy crossbow. Now he's heavy crossbow -1. That's because he's got a dexterity penalty. So the way this works is, first of all, we have to establish how many dice he has. So heavy crossbow against heavy foot is 2 dice per figure. So he's actually rolling 10 dice, right? With 5s and 6s hitting. He is in short range, so he gets 1 more, but then he loses 1. So basically he doesn't get the short range bonus. So he's going to roll 10 dice. So 5 dice twice with 5s and 6 hitting. There's 2 6s, which would actually kill the last one. So that's 6 more down. All right, we get 10% of the 10% of the no, actually 20%, right? Yeah. There's only 60 of them. So, all right. So that was a patrol coming from outside. Moving forward. Also, we never checked to see if there was treasure in this room. Empty room treasure? No. All right. All this resets. Right here. Not the lantern, obviously, because we haven't burned it out yet. We're starting a new torch, and we're going to come down these stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 puts us in front of this door. So what we're going to do is come here, and we've got we have enough characters. Okay, so we got 3 characters that are all demi-humans on this door. They hear something if there's something to be heard. On this door, we have 2 demi-humans and a human, so the human will be the black die. They don't hear anything in that one. Okay, so do we hear anything in this room? So basically, is there something there? On a 1 or a 2, there is? Nope. Okay. We don't hear anything in there either, but so let's see. High will go this way, low will go that way. Okay, we're going into this room. So I have to remember to check that one. Let me just check. Is there anything in that room? No. All right. So we're going to push this. This is basically turn 1. We could do all that in turn 1. So at turn 2, we're going to push the door open. Is there a random monster? There is not. Push the door open. We got it. We're in. Elves automatically sense secret doors on a 1 or a 2, but I just basically do. I assume everybody's always looking, so elves get them on 1 through 4. I only do it when I have elves with me. Okay, they see this secret door, which clearly shows treasure, so we're going to put unguarded treasure in there for level 2. So unguarded treasure is basically rolled on this chart here. This is in Underworld. So on level 2 to 3, we have silver pieces, 100 times a 12-sided die. So 100 silver pieces. We have gold pieces, 100 times a 6-sided die. So 400 gold pieces. That's pretty good. Then we've got 10% chance each of gems and jewelry. So these are basically, so the red's first. Nope, 14, no gems. 17, no jewelry. And we have a 5% chance of magic item. No magic item. Okay, so we got a little gold and stuff in there, and there's no treasure. And that's going to be the end of, that's going to be all of turn 3. And I'm going to pause for a second and we'll come back. Okay, so that's the end of turn 3. I stepped away for a second, so hopefully I didn't forget anything. We got treasure in here. The room was empty. I know I rolled here, but I can't remember if there was a monster in there, so I'm going to roll again. At the end of turn 4, well, first of all, I'm just going to do that right now. Is there a monster in this room? On a 1 or a 2? No. Okay. At least not normally stocked. But now at the end of turn 4, there's potentially a wandering monster. So I'm going to roll. On a 1 or a 2, there's a wandering monster. There's not. Okay. So that room is basically empty. So we're going to come out here. Again, we've already listened to the door, so we're not going to listen again. We're going to force the door open, which we're able to. We come in. Now again, that keeps sliding, so I'm just going to do this. Now again, there's no monster here, but there could be unguarded treasure. So on a 1, there's unguarded treasure. Hey, unguarded treasure, which we just saw how we roll for that. 100 times a D12 silver. 900 silver. So that makes 1,000 total. I'm never going to be able to read that. Let me see if you can see where I'm writing this. Is it my hand? Yeah, you can. Okay. Let's put a little tiny 0 there. 1,000 silver pieces. And the gold is a D6 times 100. Ooh, 6. So that's 1,000 gold pieces as well. All right. The funny part is 10,000 silver pieces is 1,000 gold pieces. So we're already carrying more actual treasure than we're going to get from the Troll King. We have a 10% chance each of gems and jewelry. So let's start with gems. 88. Nope. Jewelry. Oh, 09. We have jewelry. All right. I'm just going to use this to keep track of my torches. And what I'm going to do is just do it like this because I keep I keep forgetting anyway. So we're on this turn and it'll be turn 5. So when we get to 6, we'll go down to the next one. I'll just count it down like that. Hopefully that makes sense. So this is the bar that we're on. Okay, we've got jewelry. Oh, let me check for magic items before we move on. 5% chance. No. Okay, so this says gems/jewelry. It doesn't say how much, so I'm just assuming 1 piece. I don't think I've ever had gems and jewelry unguarded before. Now, technically with this, if I was running a regular campaign, I would probably have this like hidden or... So I always assume that the party's searching for it. And maybe sometimes when I roll it, there's none. It actually just means that there was some there and they didn't find it, right? To figure out what kind of gems and jewelry, we're going to look in Monsters and Treasure. Okay, right here. And In the back, we have a little chart here for jewelry. It's a percentile. So this jewelry is 74. It is worth 1 six-sided die times 1,000. 4. Okay, jewelry worth 1,000. No, 4,000. Jewelry, okay. One of those. I'm using a very dull pencil, which is making my handwriting look even worse than it normally does. Let me use this one. All right, that was fantastic. That's a good find. All right. That was turn 5. Actually, that was turn 4. Now we're in turn 5. Let's come out of this room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to get to here. Okay, so we're going to get to here. Now, obviously, we see that. Again, the elves. So, I may have said it in a clumsy way before. If a room like this one is a dead end, then we assume the elves are searching for secret doors, right? Which means they have 1 through 4 on a d6. Just walking near a secret door, an elf has a 1 or a 2 chance without looking. So, we have 2 elves. We're going to roll. If either one of these is a 1 or a 2, then we will see that secret door. No, so they don't see it. And we end the turn there. That's turn 5. Turn 6, we must rest. And let's see if there is a wandering monster at the end of this turn on a 1 or a 2. No. Okay. So we'll go down to this. So that's what I was doing there. And let us continue. 1, 2, 3. So 10 to the end of that. Oh, another dead end. Okay, so we're going to have another king. Okay, so we'll have another king, so I'll put this back in there. Those are the aces. Okay, so here's a king. Looks like the other one. All right. Cool. All right. You know, this is interesting as well. I didn't do it, but I think I will when I come back. We'll just say we missed that one. Since we're technically on the second level of the dungeon, I'm going to say this is normally to the outside. I think we can make that go up 1 level so that we're not like boxing ourselves in here. I don't think this dungeon will keep going down and down. I mean, it's a second level dungeon, you know, as far as we're not in a mega dungeon, right? So I'm not worried that like the first level of the dungeon technically was first level, right? Where everything here is second level because it's a Gnolls lair. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so that's turn 1. We're going to listen at this door. We don't hear anything. Is there anything in this room? There's not. I have a lot of empty rooms here. All right. That's the end of turn 1. So is there going to be a wandering monster at the end of turn 2? No. All right. So turn 2. Force the door open easily. Come to this room. Any unguarded treasure? Nope. And we already checked there's no wandering monster. So that's going to be, again, a path down to the next part of the dungeon. Oh, that's funny. It's another dead end room. This room is going to leave a dead end room because I'm going to make this another passage. Partially because I'm just at that end of the thing. So we're going to look down there and there's a set of stairs. Hold on, that was turn 2. So we can get down here easily. We can listen at the door, which we hear something if there's something there. I'm going to up the chances of there being something. This one feels like it could actually be the Gnoll King's lair just because with the way it's placed. It's so like well guarded. So I'm going to say a 1 through 3. There's something in this one. No, it's empty. There's nobody there anyways. All right, we're going to push the door open, which we easily do. I wonder why there's nothing down in this area. Let's roll to see if there's any unguarded treasure. Nope. All right, I feel like I'm going to go off book a little bit here because it just seems weird that this, like, we've gone down, down, and then down to a dead end here. So it seems like there should be something here. So why is this empty? If you've been enjoying these videos, please do take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, do all that cool YouTube stuff. Check out the description below. You'll find links to my Discord server. Join the conversation over there. T-shirts if you're interested. and all kinds of good stuff, like links to the stuff I'm using. If you do have a question about what I'm using as far as gaming systems or how I'm doing something, please do ask in the comments, and I will do my best to answer it. I'll talk to you soon.